Hello, my name is Daniela Eworth, a Voice of the People. Today we're in Seven Sisters, London, to find out from the general public what they feel about the issues with public transportation. Over the past few weeks we've been having issues, there's been tube strikes, people can't get to work, people can't get to their houses, people can't run their daily lives. So let's hear from the public why this is going on.
I think some way for people to take public transport is more painful now because they have strikes and it makes life much harder. But sometimes in emergency, I take a taxi or public transport as well because it takes me the train specifically. It takes much quicker to go to places anyway.
What do you think are the reasons behind all the tube strikes?
I think it's just about the money, because you need a lot of money more on that one.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Money from where? Money from the government or salaries of the people that are working on the tubes, or what?
I think public, yeah.
Okay. So the reasons behind the tube strike you're saying is down to finances, and that's it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are you aware that there's been a lot of recent tube strikes in London?
Yeah, definitely. I do use the tube quite a lot. So I've been stuck like many times having to take the bus to go like long distance and stuff. Yeah.
And what do you think the reasons are behind this?
I think they were asking for a pay rise like everybody else is doing, you know, in like the recession days that we are in. And just because they're doing long hours and it's like a hard work as well, and they just want to be more acknowledged or appreciated, I guess, yeah.
All right. And have you been affected by these tube strikes personally, or?
Yes, I have, because I live in Edmonton and I work in Northwood Park, so it's across Northwest London, and I've had to take many overgrounds and being stuck on the buses like late at night, knowing that I've got children to go back to, so it's been quite hard for me, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think the government needs to do about this so people can continue their day-to-day activities as normal?
I think the government needs to meet them maybe halfway. I understand that obviously everybody's asking for pay rises. I know the ministers and everybody else in the government is getting a pay rise, everybody else is being comfortable. But some people need to be more appreciated. I think they are one of them, definitely. Yeah, so maybe compromise a bit more and understand that it's not only affecting, you know, TfL, but also other workers, and other businesses are losing big time because some people turn up for work or they turn up, you know, late and stuff like that, so definitely.
Okay, what do you think about the recent tube strikes? Why is this happening?
Yeah, they want extra money. Now at the moment, inflation, everything is going high. The rent is going high, shopping is going high. So
they're not getting paid well?
No. The amount they need to give them extra money.
Have you been affected by the recent tube strike?
No, I haven't actually. I saw it as an incentive to get people to walk. And at the end of the day, I mean, look, everybody's going to fight for their own cause. Who are we to judge and say, you know what I mean, people shouldn't? Yeah, should or shouldn't. You know what I mean? We have time, you plan it beforehand. They let you know in a week in advance. Yeah. So, yeah. And I see it as nice anyway. A lot of people have been walking to work together and actually been forming friendships, believe it or not. Some of them have been waiting at the bus stops and things like that. But I think it's a good incentive to get people to get out there and walk as well. So for me, as I said, it's a plus. Yeah. They get what they want and we keep fit.
It was going to be a long strike. Tuesday to Friday is a long time for the trains not to be running. I think it's longer than usual. Usually they're 48 hours, aren't they? But that would have been, I don't know, 4 days of strike. So that would have affected people a lot more, wouldn't it? Yeah.
There's been a lot of tube strikes recently. We just want to find out from you and a lot of people recently why this is going on.
I think it's uncomfortable about us, but I think at the same time about them, because they fighting about his salary, they fighting about his opportunity. Maybe it's not fair about this job. I think I have to understand this situation because it's so hard for us, but also so hard for them. I think I want to they will find any solution about that, but I think it's very, very hard. I have to understand this situation about they fighting because it's not the same opportunity about the salary. I think it's uncomfortable, but I have to focus it in this person. Is worker like us.
So do you think this is going to continue, or do you think that the government needs to do something about this to put an end to it?
Depend the government. The government is the person can be resolved that the guilt is the government. Right now, everybody knows in the United Kingdom there is a policy about the government very close about benefit, about worker, about law. Sometimes I think no step get better, step upside. I think the government they have a good solution about that. Because in the past I know there is no salary for everybody. It's not the same. Some working is very growing.
Different pay scale.
Absolutely, that's right. It's not fair that I think the government they have solution, but also it's not comfortable for us. But I think we have to think about them, absolutely about that.
And due to the fact that each year the rail fares are being increased, do you think that there should be like a protest with the public about rail fares being increased, but then people are not making use of the services?
But it's so hard, this situation, I think. But in my opinion, is the problem. They have to do that. In my opinion, they have to do that. It's no another way. They can choose another way. They have to make that. Maybe it's bad, little bit bad, but I have to understand that. In my opinion, I have to understand.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what do you think are the problems behind tube strikes recently?
I don't think there is a problem. I think people are rightfully being able to fight for their working pay and their working hours, and that's fine. I think that's great. They should be able to, they have a strong union. That's a good thing. I wish a lot of other places did have that. And the fact that people go around in a kind of, just shows kind of a lack of empathy, that they're complaining about the fact that their day is wrong and annoying and is inconvenient for them, whereas actually like this is their livelihood, this is their life, this is their daily day, daily struggle. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. All for it. Take a cycle, walk.
Generally, I understand that the tube strike is to get better pay, and I realise that the all-night tube service is going to come into effect from September to keep up with the rest of the world. However, I work as a nurse. I'm also on low wages. We haven't had pay increase for years, but we do need to get into the hospitals. We do need to get into the city. People's lives and health depend on it. And while it's a frustrating process, we have to get up a lot earlier, waiting to get on buses, queuing outside train stations. It's the most frustrating thing, third time this year, so it's not very pleasant. So as well as I support it, you also have to understand the other people that need to get places too. So I think maybe there should be some compromise somewhere.
The strike wasn't about the train drivers, it was about the staff who works in the underground, which they're gonna need to work hours and social hours, so they call it, and that's the reason that they went on a strike, because the tube drivers they were supporting them as well, because they already got a deal. The drivers they got already a deal, but the staff on the underground they haven't. So that's the difference between So the strike is it's more political,